Hello, we are group number 2 and we have chosen Veterinary Office web application for our cloud solution project. My name is Mingy and I'm here with Raymond. So currently the Veterinary Office operates on ASP.NET web application hosted on 2 on-premise virtual machines behind a load balancer. The application allows customers to schedule appointments and order prescription refills. It connects to an on-premise SQL server database that stores customer, pet inventory, and scheduling information. The development team now wants to move the entire solution to the cloud for better reliability, lower maintenance, and scalability. Add a chatbot interface capable of classifying appointments into annual checkup, follow-up appointment, and new customers. Ensure the system is accessible via internet for customers. Keep costs low because the workload has modest compute needs and a small database. Their goals are to modernize the application, improve customer self-service, reduce IT maintenance effort while maintaining security and compliance. The recommended cloud service is public cloud because it is fully managed service which drastically reduces the operational burden. The veterinary office does not have strict on-premise or legacy integration needs, so hybrid model would add additional complexity without any benefits. Public cloud allows clinic to deploy resources exclusively in Canadian regions, satisfying privacy and residency requirement. It is the lowest cost model for small business compared to running private cloud infrastructure. Why not private cloud? Because it has expensive infrastructure and maintenance. The client does not require the level of isolation or control private cloud offers. Why not hybrid cloud? Because no integration with existing on-premise system is required, and the goal is full migration, not partial migration. Recommended cloud service type would be platform as a service. It provides the best balance of control, cost, and simplicity. We're going to use Azure App Service, Azure SQL Database, Azure Bot Service. Platform as a service removes the overhead of managing virtual machines, OS updates, and hardware. This is very important for small business with limited IT staff. Infrastructure as a service would not be needed here because we don't need the OS level access or legacy software dependencies. We are also not lifting and shifting their VM setup exactly. Software as a service is not compatible because we are using a custom ASP.NET application. Now going on to specific Azure service recommended, we're going to use Azure App Service. It is ideal for ASP.NET web application. It is a built-in load balancing, auto scaling if traffic grows, HTTPS enforced for privacy compliance, and no need to manage servers. Azure SQL Database, fully managed server compatible database, easily supports the required 32 gigabytes, automatically backs up, high availability and security. And it is deployed in Canada Central East to meet the privacy laws. Azure AI Bots and Azure AI Language. This classifies appointments types into annual, follow-up, and new customer, integrated easily into the web application and reduces workload on staff by automating appointment handling. Azure Logic Apps automates workflow when customer chooses a new customer. It sends a notification through staff for manual verification through a phone call, and there's no coding, and it is at a very low cost. Azure Monitor and Application Insights is an end-to-end monitor of web application performance and failures. It tracks bot usage, customer activity, and site health. Azure Key Vault stores database connection strings and bot keys securely, supports managed identity for secure app to service authentication. Microsoft Entra ID provides identity management like multi-factor authentication and role-based access control for administrators. And it also helps secure sensitive customer data. Now here is a expected Azure costs using Azure Price Calculator. The total operational cost will be around $50 to $75, and we also have a chart here showing which part will most likely cost the most and which would cost the least. And now the benefits to the client, we have reduced maintenance, meaning there's no OS updates, no patching, no hardware failures. Azure handles security updates and scaling. A lower cost, estimated to around $50 a month compared to thousands of on-premise hardware, and is also pay-as-you-go billing. Improved reliability, meaning app service plus SQL database provide fully built-in redundancy and uptime guarantees, automatic failover and backups. better customer service, meaning online appointment scheduling with chatbot accessible to a 24/7 self-service for the refills. Strong security and compliance, data stored in Canadian region supports provincial regulations, encrypted at rest and in transit, uses key vaults, role-based access control, and Entra ID for secure access control, and finally, scalable for future growth, meaning if clinic expands, app service and SQL can scale up along with it. Chatbot can be extended with more appointment types or languages in the future. Now here we have the cloud infrastructure diagram. So basically it starts from the customer on their mobile web, and they trigger a REST service, which then reaches the Azure App Service that has the ASP.NET Web Application. That triggers a Azure bot service that asks the customer if they're a new or returning customer. If they're a new customer, Azure Logic Apps will trigger a phone call to verify if they are in fact a new customer. And if they're a returning customer, once they have done the refills and once they have finished the appointment, then Azure Logic Apps will trigger an email alert confirming that their transaction has completed successfully. And both of those services is monitored and tracked in Azure Monitor. Now Raymond will take over for the rest of the presentation. Thank you.
Hi there, this is Raymond Jaco, second member of Group 2. So at this part, I'm going to explain the service chosen for our solution. So we chose Azure App Service instead of a virtual machine because it's cheaper, fully managed, support ASP.NET natively, and eliminate system maintenance. Azure SQL database was selected over SQL on a VM because it provides automatic backup encryption and high availability at a lower cost. Azure Bot Service, along with Azure AI Language, was chosen because they provide a built-in end-to-end classification without requiring custom machine learning development. Logic App was used because it easily automates staff notification without any programmation workload logic. Key Vault, Entra ID, and a Monitor were selected to secure credential, manage access, and track system health. The benefit for clients, customers, it's faster and easier appointment booking through the chatbot, better reliability and fewer outages thanks to a managed Azure service, improved communication, especially for appointment needing human review, higher trust because the data stays in Canada and is protected with encryption, overall smoother and a more modern online experience. Most challenging part of the project, understanding the right need of the customer to provide the solution. The hardest part was matching each business needs requirement, to the most suitable Azure service while keeping cost low. Choosing the right component to make the transition from on-premise to cloud without changing the current structure. The possible improvement, it will be enhance the chatbot with more conventional ability, act as a customer service, and a stronger security with DDoS protection. For the first time, customer had additional verification option, like using their phone or email. Add a reporting dashboard for appointment trends. This is the end of our presentation, and thank you.